Okay, so one of the first things that you want to do is you want to cut out your interfacing pieces. So these are for the actual house, and I have 2, 4, 6, I have 8 of these, okay? And they're 8 inches by 5 inches. And you have a front and a back, so there's 4, and then you have the 2 sides, there's your other 4. And then I have all of my pieces cut out and pressed, and the directions say to use a very light material for the inside. That's going to reflect the light through the windows. Speaking of which, you'll notice I've not cut out the windows on these, and there is a top side and bottom side on the sides. I'm sorry, like the front and the back, where there's 2 windows. So there is a top and a bottom, so you want to be mindful of that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little markers that I use when I'm marking fabric, that when you press it with an iron it disappears. It doesn't really matter because we're not going to see this, but I don't want it to show through this white fabric, which we're going to fuse first. But I do need to cut out windows on all of these pieces. So that's going to be my next thing to do. And again, I've got, this is interior already cut. I have more interfacing pieces right here that I've cut out. These are 8.5 inches long, so they're a ½ inch longer than these. And these are the 2 roof pieces. So I've got 2, 4, 6. So you're going to need 2 for the floor, and then the roof has 2 sides, so you're going to need 2 for each side also. So I've got those, but I don't need to really do anything with these right now, so I'm just setting them aside because right now I want to get my windows cut out. So what works best on that is I have just a really small little cutting mat, and this works perfect because I can set this on here and cut out the windows with a small rotary cutter. And this little thing works great because I can sit and watch TV and do that. And I kind of keep all this together in this little bag. I also have 2 templates that I made out of freezer paper that show the cutouts. So I've labeled them, like this one says front and back, and obviously this one is the ends. So I got the little windows, so all I need to do is you just lay this on here, trace your windows, and then what works good is you take that little rotary cutter to get those windows cut out. So when we get to that step, I'll show you. We'll do this step by step. But this is where you need to be now. I have all the materials cut out here, and the interfacing, and the inside fabric. So Mr. Jingles has to be in the picture, I guess. He's been crying. He went to visit his 2 girlfriends. So here's my 2 roof colors. I've got the darker one and I got the red one, and there's 4 strips altogether for that. This is my trim. I got that pressed and cut. I've got my 2 clapboards. Got those cut. You're also going to be cutting some 5-inch squares. I believe these are for the windows. This is the window trim that goes around the window trim right there on the outside window trim. Okay, so that's that fabric, and it says to use this fabric on the floor because this is on the outside floor, but I had some of this already cut and I made that the floor of my last one. It'll be on the bottom, doesn't matter. Any dark fabric. I just thought I'd use that up. So there's all my pieces cut and they are ready to go. Next thing to do is let's get my windows all traced onto these pieces right here.